people like you, organizations like RampCheck, I love you guys.
4, 5, 6, 7 feet down, ready now.
You are clear for takeoff, runway 21 left. Winds are calm. Stand by for the retrans on uniform. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the RampCheck podcast. I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron. And I'm Ryan. Do you think anyone believed that?
Yeah, probably not.
What's up, brother?
Well, what's up, brother? How's it going? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Good to see you seeing clearly, and your eyes look good. They don't look as bloodshot as when I saw you last week, so that's good.
Yeah, they're getting there. So, if you guys didn't know, I had cataract surgery, and I think I'm still a little pale. Could be my lighting. I don't know. Shit.
Nah. You don't look too bad.
Oh, no, that's bad.
Not bad.
There we go.
There you go. That's better. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, let's see if we can bring it down a little bit. There we go. That looks better.
Nice.
I think. I'll tell you what. Being able to see clear, it's great for everything except looking in the mirror. So,
well, now you know what my ass has to put up with when I look at you every day.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
You're a handsome feller. Speaking of handsome fellers, Aaron is not with us tonight. He wishes he could be here. I'll just show it on my cell phone. That's what Aaron's doing. Aaron's
on assignment.
Camping.
Yeah.
With his family. Yeah. So
didn't want to lug all of his equipment up there, which I don't blame him. But,
yeah. And when you go camping, you're supposed to go and kind of get away from everything
and unplug and disconnect and all that fun stuff. So, should we just kind of get started and the title of tonight's episode is "So You Think You Can Land an Airplane?"
Nice. Awesome. Well, we'll get into. I do want to say one more thing about Aaron being gone first.
Just be careful because he might be able. He'll watch this after.
That's okay.
You're not going to talk shit on middle brother, right?
I got shit for going to Florida, so I'm just going to give him shit for camping, even though I'm happy he's there.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Hope you're watching, brother. Hello.
Yep. You have to. You got to disconnect every now and then.
Yep.
So
tell me about the title, brother, because I'm guessing you came up with that since Aaron isn't here and I didn't come up with it.
Well, I did. So, before we get into that, can I just say that I'm kind of pissed? I don't know if it's at Maverick or myself.
Okay.
But I just got the most expensive refill of all time. $175 for this refill right here. $175.
Explain.
So I did the self-checkout and I just do it out of habit. They've got the self-serve touch screen. So I'm just like touching stuff. Well, I accidentally touched the prepay fuel.
Oh. And entered in.
No, I didn't enter in an amount. But I figured, okay, the other guy was busy. I'll just go back in because I guess when you present your card, then you, if you didn't select an amount, it has you select an amount. So I just went in and selected $0. Well, apparently that doesn't work, and it defaulted to $175. So
okay, anyway, well, I hope the Coke Zero is worth it.
It's. If it was only $1.75, it would taste pretty damn good for $175. But anyway, whatever.
I mean, I'm sure it's Coke Zero, right?
Oh yes, it's definitely Coke Zero. For
those of you that don't know, Tony will go the extra mile for Maverick Coke Zero. So,
so another reason I'm pissed at Maverick. So I go to the first Maverick this morning. No pellet ice. I'm like, shit. So guess what I do?
You drive to the other Maverick.
I drive to the other Maverick. Pellet ice is just fine. They're out of fucking Coke Zero. So
Dude, I hate when that happens when we're working together because I just know you have to have your freaking Coke Zero.
I know, I'm just crazy. So Wadman checking in, saying the title should be Interceptor Week after the last 2 days. You want to elaborate, my friend? Yeah, because I've been out of touch. I was looking for some aviation stories and didn't really, see many that worth noting. Yeah, Paris Air Show's going on. Yeah. I don't know, French or and never mind. But and all the major airlines and the major players in the manufacturing, they're all exchanging hookers or whatever it is they do, and making deals and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, Wadman, let us know what you're talking about there, my friend. I think I know what you're talking about, because there's that I'm wondering if there were a lot of intercepts going on, maybe, that we didn't know about. But anyway, and I'm sure if Aaron were on the podcast, he'd know exactly what he was talking about.
Probably.
But yeah, do tell. But anyway, so getting back to the title of the show, I'm gonna let's see if we can summarize this one in one clip here. Here we go. Oh, let me see if I lost the tab. Damn it, where'd the tab go? Oh man, let's see. Oh, here it is. Let's see. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stewardess speaking. We regret any inconvenience the sudden cabin movement might have caused. This is due to periodic air pockets we encounter. There's no reason to become alarmed, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your flight. By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
Anyway, I just wanted to that kind of sets the stage for yeah, and I was going through the clips and stuff, and if I let that clip play any longer, I don't know if you remember this, but I do. When I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, the boobies flash across the screen." Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I was watching, and I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, holy shit!" So I had to make a note to make sure I stopped that one.
Okay.
But yeah. But anyway, Wadman says an F-22 intercepted a private plane yesterday, and a Hill F-35 intercepted another private plane today.
Wow. Yeah. If it was today, I was here and there and everywhere and stuff. Right. So I wouldn't have seen that one today.
Yeah, I didn't hear about
I think I did hear about that one, but like I said, we just kind of jumped on and went in for it. So we'll have to find the stories and talk about them.
Well, and that actually kind of goes along with kind of what we were talking about, because so basically a pilot or pilots get incapacitated. And then the passenger ends up having to land the airplane. Now, according to let's see, the Washington Post, which you could also call it the Washington Compost, but anyway, according to the Washington Post, and so this has the headline: "Think you can land in a plane in an emergency? Pilots explain why you can't."
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So picture this. You're on a flight when you learn that the pilots have fallen ill and can no longer fly the plane. A voice comes over the PA asking for a volunteer to help land the aircraft. You have no experience, but you've seen airplane. Snake on a plane. And maybe you've frittered away hours on Microsoft Flight Simulator. You throw off your seatbelt and march toward the cockpit, your cape rustling behind you. Hold on, hero. You might want to return to your seat for this reality check. So this guy says there is a 0% chance of someone pulling that off, says Patrick Smith, a commercial air pilot and founder of the Ask the Pilot blog. Do you do people think they can perform transplant surgery? No. Then why do you think they can land a plane? Come on, it's not rocket surgery or science.
Rocket surgery.
Anyway, the clinical name for this type of baseless bravado is the Dunning-Kruger effect. It could be used to explain the results of the YouGov poll that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That was if you were confident if you could land a plane. And basically, this guy goes on and just talks about why you can't do it. Well, I don't know. I kind of disagree with him. Some of the factors he says is because, you know, like the jet's flying about 165 miles an hour and the ground's going to come up really fast and there's lots of really intricate systems. And you know, assuming the pilot's still in the cockpit. And he does bring up one good point, especially with airliners and how fortified the cockpit doors are. How the hell are you going to get in there in the first place?
Yeah, totally.
But let's assuming that you make it in. Then he says, you know, you got to peel the headset off of the incapacitated pilot. You got to figure out where the controls are to talk on the radio, the frequencies, your transponder, and all that stuff. I kind of disagree with this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone has had no experience whatsoever, which is what we'll be talking about here in a little bit, yeah, okay, it's probably a little bit of a stretch. But I mean, if you've geeked out on Flight Simulator with Doritos and Mountain Dew for 12 hours a day for, you know, the majority of your adult life in your mother's basement, number one, you need to get a life. But number two, you may be familiar enough because those simulators, man, those are fucking realistic as hell.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you might be able to find your way around the cockpit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment. Let us know right now what you think. But or if you're somebody like me whose job was to observe, you know, 10 hours every year in the cockpit on the procedures and where everything is. And so maybe somebody with a little more experience being in the cockpit or different things. I could be completely wrong. So,
well, no, I mean, and we very briefly talked about this on a previous podcast, but I mean, it was like very brief. We were just kind of like, oh yeah, I think I could do it. But like, yeah, I'll just kind of to reiterate what you're saying. Like, if you're someone that has absolutely no knowledge of like how an aircraft flies and, you know, you're like, you know, nothing. Yeah, I would probably agree with this guy. But you know, if you're someone that's either just worked around aviation, like you said, messed around on Flight Simulator, or you just kind of have that kind kind of like intuition.
Aptitude.
Aptitude. There you go. That's a better word.
Intuition. Yeah, exactly.
It's like it can totally be done, and you know, obviously it depends on aircraft type and all that stuff, but you know, but really it just comes down to obviously visibility, right? Like, I don't think someone's going to be able to do it in like low clouds or hardly any visibility.
Free landing,
yeah, but like it on like a clear day, if you can find the airport, you know, it's just a matter of using the right amount of throttle and
flap settings
and getting it down to the ground,
not stalling the airplane. Yeah, exactly. Well, and if you're in a larger airplane, something like a 737 or, you know, God forbid, a 747, and that were to happen, you know, there would definitely need to be somebody else in the cockpit with you. You couldn't do it by yourself. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I wanted to share something. So I did a little search on the internet. I was kind of geeking out over this stuff today. And so this is an article today from todayifoundout.com, which today I found out that todayifoundout.com is an actual website. But anyway, so the question is, has any passenger ever landed a commercial airline like you see in the movies? So a common Hollywood trope when dealing with commercial airline-centric pilots is inevitably at some point the pilot or pilots will become incapacitated, and the lead character, who may or may not have any piloting experience, will be forced to take over lest they die a fiery death when gravity decides to establish dominance. Jesus Christ, I sound like Fetterman. But has this scenario actually played out in real life? And what is the likelihood a passenger with limited or no formal pilot training could actually land a commercial airliner safely when being talked through it, as often depicted in movies? So to begin with, as to the first question, when taking large commercial aircraft, yes, a passenger of sorts did once and only once take over for the incapacitated pilots. This occurred aboard the Helios Airways Flight 522 in 2005. Maybe some of you guys know about this. So how did both the pilots become incapacitated and what happened after? In a nutshell, the cabin pressurization switch was set to normal or to manual instead of automatic. That was a maintenance thing. Mm-hmm. And the pilots, who had over 20,000 hours of flight experience combined, didn't realize there was an issue, despite this being something that they should have noticed if they'd done their checklist properly. You know, that's one of the scary things about having tens. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. I just got a private message. And I'll let you share that in a second. Okay. But having like tens of thousands of hours and flying commercial traffic, passengers back and forth, you can get complacent.
Yeah.
And that's why checklists exist. And you should always obviously follow your checklist. But anyway, so getting back to this.
That's kind of the point of a checklist, right?
Right. Exactly.
To follow it.
Right. But you know what I'm saying is you've done it so many times. You're like, and I've heard this before, not to an unprofessional or a safety issue, but you've got one reading through the checklist, and before he can even finish the sentence of the checklist, he's like, check, so.
I mean, it would be, in pilots' defense, and when I say defense, it's hard to say there's an excuse for lack of safety, but right. These guys that just fly route after route, day after day, it probably does get a little mundane, check. So human error, and that's why there is more than one pilot, right?
Right.
That's why, there should be fail safes and such, but
checklists. But
yes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, let me put this back up here so you guys can read along at home. So
a little bouncing ball on the words,
right? If they'd done their checklist properly. Later, the system alerted them to I'm not going to do that the whole time. Okay. The system alerted them to the pressurization issue as they climbed, but the warnings were misinterpreted. Then the oxygen masks automatically deployed for the passengers at around 18,000 feet, something the pilots also were seemingly unaware of. So this is curious, as when the masks deployed, the passengers and the rest of the crew would have put theirs on. When the crew observed the pilots still having the plane climb after this event instead of descending immediately, and when the oxygen masks, when they deploy, there's a little system, and it's just a little canister, and it's actually burning to create oxygen, and it only lasts about 15 minutes. Basically, gives them enough time to get back down to a safe altitude.
So they can breathe.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So the least they should have attempted to do was bang on the locked security door if the lead flight crew member who had the code to open it was incapacitated or unable to remember to get in. Anyway, as to why they didn't do any of this, or if they did, the pilots were simply too out of it for any banging to register. That's banging on the door, not banging in the cockpit. This isn't, no. On that note,
1970s.
Right. Chickabow. On that note, at one point, the ground engineer who had switched the pressurization to manual during some maintenance before the flight asked the pilot when issues were reported, setting was auto, blah, blah, blah. The captain at this stage was already a little too far gone mentally from lack of oxygen and ignored the question. Given his radio communication stopped shortly thereafter, when he simply commented about trying to locate some circuit breakers in response, it is presumed he succumbed mere seconds after the question was asked. And this is obviously from the cockpit voice recorder. Had he registered the question and looked and simply turned the little knob, all of would have fixed itself in short order. So ultimately, one of the flight attendants, Andreas we'll just call him Andreas, did take over flying the plane.
Dormammu. Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I would just call him Andre.
Yeah, it's Andre. There was a problem, though. It would seem from the investigation that he had difficulty getting access to the cabin, hence the post 9/11 cabin doors, seemingly only doing so after a couple of hours of the plane flying itself and a plane full of passed out people, which we imagine must have been incredibly terrifying for Andre on many levels. So how did it turn out? Tragically, this ended with the plane crashing and all 121 people aboard were killed.
Oh, geez, I didn't see that coming.
Right. Andre was actually a pilot himself, though, as far as he could tell, without any professional experience, and certainly not in a Boeing 737. As to why he wasn't able to bring the plane back down, he wasn't really given a fair chance. It seems as if moments after he finally made it to the cabin, one of the engines ran out of fuel. And then not long after, the other one did as well. So even an extremely experienced pilot in that plane would have super low odds in this case to glide to a suitable airport. So
where did this take place? I didn't hear the first part.
This was Greece, if I remember.
Greece, okay.
Yeah. So and I remember hearing about that. One of those situations where anyway, that unfortunate. Too bad.
Yeah, well, he kind of had the odds stacked against him there with the plane running out of fuel.
Well, why? I mean, did it take him 2 hours to finally get through the cabin door?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the thing is the plane's continually climbing too, so eventually it had to level off, I would guess.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah,
Taz.
I mean, what's up, Taz? How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I mean, 'cause that's the thing, like, how long did it say when he got to the cockpit? How long had it been?
I think it said it was like, I already closed out the article, but I think it said it was like 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay. So he didn't get right in, which kind of sucks because if he got right in, he might have been able to like get it down to altitude.
Right. And so that's what they were saying as part of the investigation. They were wondering why it took him so long to finally get into the cabin. And I don't know if he had also been unconscious at some point.
Yeah, he could have. Yep.
Or it was the cabin door, or I don't know.
Or yeah, I mean, I have no idea. That's just scary, and it sucks that people perish. But I don't know. Well, I hope I never have to be that guy.
Right.
I mean, the odds are super low, but flying is really safe. It's just when accidents happen with flying, especially something like this, it's just a little more traumatic because of, you're not just losing a pilot or two or a couple people, you're losing, a significant amount. So,
well, we're going to talk about a story here in a minute where that happened on a King Air. And he had like his wife and 2 daughters aboard the plane with him. Yeah, and the pilot, it was a King Air single pilot operation, and we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But I wanted to show another video right now of a situation like this where it actually had a positive outcome. So let's see if I can get this thing deployed.
Is that a Caravan? What is that?
This is the final approach of the
Caravan. Oh no, it's like a 206.
Caravan.
Oh, it is a Caravan.
At the controls is not a pilot, but a passenger being talked down by air traffic control.
Not
From
a bad
another
approach.
angle, this was the moment of touchdown.
Check out the landing.
Other airline pilots on the taxiway watched with astonishment.
You just witnessed a couple passengers land that plane.
Did you say the passengers landed the airplane?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, no, great job.
The drama happened in the skies above Florida, with air traffic controllers learning about it with this unexpected radio message.
Number 333 Lima Delta, roger, what's your position? I have no idea. I can see the coast of Florida in front of me, and I have no idea. What was the situation with the pilot? He is incoherent. He is out.
311 Delta, roger. Try to hold the wings level and see if you can start descending for me. Push forward on the controls and descend at a very slow rate.
This was the air traffic controller and veteran pilot who quickly took responsibility for helping the passenger fly the plane.
He just said, hey, I don't know how to stop this thing. If I do get it on the runway, so just don't worry about it. We'll take it like one step at a time.
Avoiding a tragedy.
He just gave me a big hug and he's like, thank you so much. It was an emotional moment. And he said that he just wanted to get home to his pregnant wife.
And nailing a landing that any pilot would be proud of. Robert Moore, ITV News, Washington.
Wow.
I know, right? And
very awesome.
And the commentator, why there was an issue, I don't know why.
I know. It's like, yeah. But great story. At least that one was a happy ending.
The Brits. I know, right? So back in 2022, you may have heard, and I actually hadn't heard of this, but let's see, we'll kind of set it up a little bit. And so like I said, there was a family that was flying from Florida back to Mississippi to their home. The guy himself, and oh shit, do I remember his name? Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Oh, Doug White. Doug White is the guy's name. And they were flying back, I think, from a funeral, actually, from his brother's funeral. So they boarded a King Air, him, his wife, and 2 daughters. They're just flying home. It's an Easter Sunday.
Twin engine turboprop. You can fly those single pilot.
Yep. King Air. King Air 200, I believe. And anyway, the pilot becomes incapacitated and he ends up having to try and land the airplane. They made a movie about it. It's a pretty cool story. Let me pull up this other tab here. God, we had a lot of tabs today. Sorry. So, but yeah, so this is Doug White explaining what happened here. So this is about 2 minutes long. Oh, whoops.
I'm like,
you tell me it wasn't playing. Hold on. Sorry, this is my fault. I have to turn the tab on. There we go. Okay, here we go.
I got declared emergency. My pilot's unconscious. I need help up here.
I declared an emergency. I needed some help. But I figured if I was going to die, I was going to die trying not to. So Joe taxis out on the runway, and we take off to the south, which is
definitely from Louisiana.
That's flying towards Key West. Well, he makes a 180, starts climbing out, and he sets the autopilot. So I remember climbing out. We go through a cloud layer, probably at 4,000 feet, and it's real bumpy. And I remember Joe telling me in my headset, he said, we get through these clouds here, it'll smooth out. And then about 7,500 feet or so, he's getting ready to check in with Miami Center. So what he's supposed to say is, Miami Center, King Air 559er Delta Whiskey, 8,500 for 10. In other words, I'm at 8,500 feet, or 7,500, whichever it was, and I'm cleared for 10, and I'm asking you for permission to go higher. That's what he's supposed to say. What you hear him say on the audio is,
Miami Center, King Air 559er Delta Whiskey, bearing 8,500 feet on the
well, I heard that in my headset. I'm looking out the window. But that sounded so different that I looked at him 90 degrees. And that's when I saw his head was hanging over towards me, and he was gone right then. So we're in kind of a fix here. Steady climbing, and I'm looking at this dashboard, for lack of a better term, looks like the space shuttle to me. But I remembered from a month or two before how to talk on the radio. And I did know from my instructors, if you declare an emergency in an airplane, you immediately move to the head of the class. So all I did was push the button, and you can hear it on the audio, and declare an emergency. I needed some help.
My pilot's deceased. I'm a single engine pilot, low time.
Miami 49.
I need help. I need a King Air pilot to talk to.
So I know we're in a bind. I'm locking in and my brain's doing whatever my brain's doing and your emotions are doing whatever they're doing. I realize, so I'm making some decisions. Some of them are right, some of them are not right. So I think we're not in a good position here, but if Joe falls forward on that yoke, we're gonna auger in, we have no chance. My first brilliant idea I had up there, I had several brilliant ideas, but my first one was, I'm gonna bring Terry and Maggie up here and try to get Joe out of that cockpit and lay him on the floor. Looking back, it was too tight of an area. They couldn't have got him out of there anyway. So we hooked him back up and they went in the back. I said, y'all go. I said, you need to go in the back and start praying. I got stuff I got to do.
Anyway, so that just kind of sets up the story. And then of course, Hollywood made a movie about it. And by the way, that guy doesn't look at all like Dennis Quaid. But that's all right. That's what it is. But so the reason why I'm bringing this up is when, after my cataract surgery, I had a lot of time to just sit around and do nothing. And so I refused to subscribe to Netflix. So I canceled my subscription long ago. I don't know that Prime is all that much better, but I guess you have to do something. But anyway, I stumbled across this movie On a Wing and a Prayer. And the reason why that struck a chord is, you remember the movie Always?
Yeah.
And the airplane, what's his name, flew? Yeah, exactly. On a Wing and a Prayer. So I thought, oh, this is interesting. So anyway, I watched the trailer and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. And it was actually, okay, it had some TV Lifetime channel moments, but it was actually a really, really good movie. Let me show you. Let's see. I'm gonna just play this clip real quick. Just the trailer. I'm not promoting the movie in any way. I enjoyed it.
You start taking a nap on the runway. When you wake up, we'll be back home in Louisiana.
That was a pretty good movie. I actually enjoyed it. If you get a chance, watch it.
To watch it.
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool, good. Actually.
Little bit of trivia. Do you remember any other movies, airplane movies or aviation related movies that Dennis Quaid has been in?
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. Inner Space doesn't count.
Oh, I was gonna say
that was inside the human body. It was a great movie, though.
Give me an aircraft type, and I'll remember.
I'm gonna give you a clue.
Okay.
It was in the desert.
Flight of the Phoenix?
Dude.
Was that right?
Nice
job.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a good chance I knew. It's just haven't seen it in a while. So
right. Yep. Another good movie.
Nice.
I haven't seen in a long time. Did you know that Flight of the Phoenix was a remake, actually?
I did know that. I didn't at the time, but I remember it was kind of like
this
older movie. Yeah.
With Jimmy Stewart and and I just want to point out, what the hell is the girl in the loincloth on the right hand side of the movie poster?
Know.
What does that have to do with the story?
I'm just laughing at Jimmy Stewart. Who does that impression of him? Was it Dana Carvey? I don't know, but
I think so. Yeah,
excellent. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thanks for.
Who else was in that? Sir Richard Attenborough. What movies?
Dude, I have no fucking clue.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, I have no idea who any of those other people are.
It had a little bit of Sean Connery in it too. Okay. I apologize.
Nice.
And Ernest Borgnine. Wow.
No clue.
Ernest Borgnine was in Disney's The Black Hole. Remember that?
No.
Anyway, great movie.
Dating yourself again, brother.
Well, yeah, because I'm old. I'm in my 50s. I mean, good grief. I do have just while we're on this subject, I have one more story to share that wasn't quite that didn't have quite the outcome that the favorable outcome that they had hoped for. So this one is, let's see, do we have it on here? Oh, I got to turn it on. Okay, stand by. So this is something that just happened recently that I saw on Twitter.
Yeah.
A frantic young blonde calls out a mayday. She says, "My pilot has had a heart attack and is dead, and I don't know how to fly." She hears a voice over the radio that says, "This is air traffic control, and we hear you loud and clear. I'll talk you through this, and we'll get you back on the ground. Everything will be fine. What's your height and position?" She replied, "I'm 5'4", and I'm in the front seat." After a long pause, "Okay," says the voice on the radio. "Now repeat after me. Our Father who art in heaven." Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to... I know that was stupid. I'm retarded.
I had a feeling you were going to share that when you sent it to us the other day. Wadman's like, "You hear about the Interceptor week?" And then we're like, "Oh, look at this joke." God.
It's AVGEEK humor. I'm sorry.
Well, how about
I'm
I
retarded.
share? How about we talk about those Intercept? I'm assuming that was your doom ending of the
That was to close out that storyline.
landing
Yes.
of plane. Okay, all right. Let me see if I can pull up at least one of these stories.
Okay.
And let's see if it's there. There it is. Look at that. So this is coming from the Drive, and I think this is. Oh wait. It's the wrong one. Sorry. That one's not from... Yes, this one's from the Drive. So I'm assuming this is what Wadman was talking about. It was the only one I could find. Video has emerged depicting the moment at F-35. I'm going to not read it word for word. I'm going to just kind of get through it. Intercepted a Mooney, single-engine airplane over San Francisco earlier today.
On June 20th.
Yeah, so this has got to be the one he's talking about, right?
Yep.
Okay. The intercept was one of 3 coordinated by NORAD on June 20th, so that's why he said Interceptor Week. Thanks, Wadman. Response to violations of temporary flight restrictions in place over much of the Bay Area. The temporary restrictions are there to help protect installed resident Joe Biden as he continues his visit to San Francisco, where he's blah, blah, blah. But is this, when he said Hill, is this the one? Because I thought he said it happened today, but I tried to find the story.
He just said, "Yes, it is, Ryan. I had the date wrong."
Awesome.
So yes,
okay.
This is the story. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
And apparently there's a video. In the video, we see the F-35 call sign Noble 11 performing what's known as a headbutt maneuver on the offending aircraft at low altitude. As outlined in the past, this typically involves flying close to the aircraft before pulling up in front of them. Watch the birdie. Sometimes in a steep climb, that's all I can think of is, Top Gun, because I was inverted.
Right. Could you imagine just being in that Mooney?
I know.
All of a sudden seeing that?
Yeah, dude, I'd be like, oh, shit, we're in trouble.
I'm going to have to replace these seats as soon as we get on the ground, if we get on the ground.
Headbutts can also include an approach from overhead at varying distances as well. And in any case, the generation of wake turbulence can be used to get the attention or to harass another aircraft. Yeah, you could harass a Mooney. Apparently there was a video. Let me see if it'll play really quick here.
Oh, yeah. Let's see this. Can you full screen it? Let's see.
Look how slow it's going.
That's the F-35, right? Okay, so there's a video of a jet.
Interesting.
Intercept. Do you see an intercept? Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no. You saw here. I'll just play the first part of it again. You can see it right at the beginning. Watch. At least I thought you could. Oh yeah, there it is, right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the wake turbulence. That's right.
Yes, he is. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so he went right in front of that thing. After it was cleared to headbutt the aircraft with no flares over Marin County.
They should have done the damn flares.
By the Western Air Defense Sector call sign Bigfoot, the Mooney, the M20J, appears to have made a speedy return to, maybe that's supposed to say Navajo, Marin County Airport from where it began its journey.
Novato, Marin County, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. It just shows a couple of flight paths. Let's see let's see. The Mooney 531 Delta Delta belongs to a private owner. Close up. The F-35 circulating online reveals the fighter is based out of Hill Air Force Base in Davis County, Utah. Way to go, boys. Way to represent. Owing to its HL tow code, Hill is a master F-35 base. Yeah, we know that. And he's talking about the AIM-9s on the side, so that's cool. That's cool. Someone got a pick. There's an AVGEEK right there.
Yeah. So was that scrambled out of Hill Air Force Base, or was that closer?
So it doesn't say in the article. At the beginning of the article, it said that they were, flying, or they were there because of the resident was there. So maybe
the fighters were already there supporting
possibly,
the mission.
Yeah. So continues on. It says, as already noted, this was one of 3 violations that occurred today above San Francisco, according to open source intelligence. Another one of those was a PA-28 Cherokee, according to our friend and prolific aviation tweeter, the new Area 51. The F-35 Noble 11 was one of 3 aircraft enforcing flight restrictions over the Bay Area today. This included its wingman, Noble 12, and a KC-46 Pegasus, call sign SWAF 13. Do you think these guys, after they got back, they're just like, oh my god, dude, can we please have something cool to go after rather than a freaking Cherokee and a Mooney? Good lord.
Do you think if they actually had to bring them down, I mean, worst case scenario, obviously, do you think afterwards, instead of having a red star or a MiG on the side of the aircraft, they'd have a silhouette of a Mooney or a Cherokee?
Yeah, and just make fun of them. And here's the last part of the paragraph, then we can move on. It's kind of answer your question, Tony. Here it is. The mix is interesting as all new generation aircraft for the U.S. Air Force. F-35A is being used for the Homeland Air Sovereignty mission. That's a hard word. Sovereignty mission, and especially fighter combat air patrols for presidential visits is still somewhat of a new development. Usually, California airspace is defended by the 144th Fighter Wing based out of Fresno, California Air National Guard unit that flies F-15C and Ds. The South Dakota Air National Guard also augments this capability, often standing alert out of March Joint Air Reserve Base to cover Southern California's airspace with their F-16C and Ds. But it isn't uncommon to bring in a fighter aircraft from other units, even from afar, to help with providing CAPs for VIP flight restrictions. So they could have scrambled it, or it could have just been, where the 144th is usually based. So in Fresno, but I don't know. Wadman, maybe Wadman knows. Wadman. You always seem to know shit like Aaron,
right?
Because I'm sure Aaron would know this as well. I mean, I would guess they probably took them to Fresno rather than scrambled it all the way from Utah, but
yeah, just as part of the detail, I'm sure. I mean, they fly in. Well, okay, so you and I were talking about this last week, and I wish I had this photo. Let's see here. Let's see if I've got it, and I can. It was in the group text. Let's see here. I need to go to my.
What are you looking for?
Oh,
Wadman says, I don't think it was scrambled because it's been quiet here. Okay. Yeah, so probably what we thought. Just probably helping out with the detail.
Right. Let me see if I can get this.
What is it you're trying to get? Can I help you?
Well, I have it right here. I just need to send it to me so I can.
I just need to send it to me.
I need to. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm sending it to me. So let's see.
Does it have to do with the last story? Or do you want me to bring up the next one really quick?
No, go ahead. Do the next one.
Yeah. And this one is just because our good friend Wadman was keeping us honest and on our toes. This one comes from. Let me big screen it here. Oops. Sorry. Here it goes. VOA News. I don't know what it is, but and maybe this is the one. Oh no, this. Never mind. I have the wrong story. Rookie.
Oh.
This is from May 17th. A couple of. Yeah, I know. Tracked well. Russian military aircraft was tracked while operating near. Yeah, we've talked about that. So I had the wrong one. Anyway, welcome back, Tony. You ready?
Almost. I'm almost there.
And Wadman, I was looking for the F-22 you were talking about, but couldn't see it. So, want to just briefly tell us what that one is? We'd be happy to share it. And I can kind of keep looking. But
I almost have that picture. But what I was talking about is that this was, all this was going on, when I say the security detail, the presidential detail, I can't even acknowledge that dipshit. That's anyway, but they take it. I mean, very serious. They bring a lot of aircraft. They bring in, because they've got to transport the motorcade vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would assume that you'd have the fighter escort all the way along the way, so it makes sense. But I sent this to you and Aaron the other day, and I just had to laugh.
Oh yes,
this was when everybody was freaking out because there were Ospreys driving or flying around, and lots of military stuff. And then somebody says, B-52 flew over us an hour ago. Yeah, that looks just like a B-52.
It does. I mean, geez, go easy on them.
I know. People
Trust me, Wadman, you don't want to be on our group texts.
That was
Wadman saying he wants to be in on that text.
That's funny. Oh, hey, look, Matt the Thieman checked in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We told him to tell us about the F-22 demo. Isn't that badass? Yeah.
How'd you like it, man? I remember the first time I saw that.
Nothing
that was
quite moves like the Raptor. Yeah, I do. Yep. Back when St. George was cool and actually did an air show.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Wadman, he's trying to find it as well. So much going on, though I'll ask this why you wouldn't use a closer base such as Nellis or Luke. Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, Hill Air Force Base is just a quick shot, right across the right across the Sierra Nevadas. So, and I'm pretty sure that once you're scrambled airborne and you're an afterburner, that you're going to get there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He's like on his way. He's like, Jesus, it's a freaking Mooney. Like, I'll be there in a minute. Matt, the man, it was awesome. Can't wait to catch it again. Yeah. But first time I saw the Raptor, I was pretty blown away. It was, just to see it move the way it did with the thrust. I mean, I think that was the first time I ever saw an aircraft with thrust vectoring, which means
that
it
was
can do shit that I'm like, I've never seen anything move. My favorite maneuver it does is when it just goes up and it looks like it's stalling, and he just basically somersaults it, and then he goes into almost looks like a flat spin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you imagine dogfight. It kind of reminds me of the new Top Gun movie when Rooster, when that plane does the cartwheel, and he's all, "What the fuck was that?"
What was that? An SU-57, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of reminded me
Supposedly.
of when I saw the Raptor. I was kind of like, "What the fuck was that?" So, yeah, that's cool, man. Thanks for sharing.
Yep, pretty awesome.
Yeah, need to get to an air show, man. I've got the itch.
Oh my god, me too.
I've got the itch, and it sucks that we don't have one scheduled this year, right?
Exactly, we don't, and not even down at Nellis.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, no Nellis, no Hill, whatever.
So a couple more quick stories. This story is going to fall under the "this is bullshit" category, and I'll explain why. So, French airline Finistère plans hydrogen electric solution to circumvent short haul flight ban. So if you guys remember, and we'll talk about this in just a second, but sustainable aircraft engine manufacturer ZeroAvia has signed a deal with aircraft lessor company Green Aerolease for its ZA600 hydrogen electric engines. So a hydrogen electric engine on an aircraft, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah,
hydrogen?
Yeah, I'm not sure that sounds like a great idea.
Right. The lessor plans to push these engines into its fleet with the intent that they will be utilized by the French regional air carrier Finistère. The business deal comes shortly after blah, 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 sustainable operations, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Anyway, and there's a reason why I wanted to show that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you should for sure, brother.
Well, I sent it in the group chat, so you'll have to.
Oh, you did?
I'm not sure how to.
Okay, let's see.
What you did. Anyway,
because it was already saved on my phone, and so I just accessed it in my iCloud photos.
We'll save that one to your phone in the group text.
Okay, I'll do that really quick. So the reason I bring that up is I don't know if you guys have heard, but and this happened. I don't know if I want to say quietly or. But I guess I need to enlarge that, don't I? Wow.
Yeah, it's a little small.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's see.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Absolutely. I can't see it. Oh, wait. Never mind. So it's official. France bans short-haul domestic flights in favor of train travel.
You know, it's fine. Let them do that shit over there. Just don't try to pull it here. Like, come on.
They do. They have electric trains, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that electric generated? How is
electricity? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How is the electricity generated? I mean, it's so funny how they do this. But I just want to read. So the idea for the ban originally came from a citizens' assembly. France's ban on short-haul domestic flights comes into force today, and this was back on the 23rd of May, so almost a month ago. Under a government decree, any journeys that are possible in less than 2.5 hours by train cannot be taken as a flight. France is also cracking down on the use of private jets for short journeys in a bid to make transport greener and fairer for the population.
Fairer. You know what, dude? God. This is so typical for this era. But you know what? The elites and the celebrity, dude, they're not gonna fucking follow this, and they're not gonna hold them to it. This is all to make it not fair for people that can't afford it, and the elites are still gonna do what they want to do. This is so stupid.
Well, it's AKA communism.
It is. It's just more control over the lower class.
So the super rich that work their asses off to gain that money. Okay, maybe it's family money or whatever. And I'm not defending oligarchies and all this other shit, but so now I've worked my ass off my entire life. I finally have my private plane, but now I can't use it because it's not fair to the people that didn't work hard enough to get their own.
Yeah, dude. This is so dumb. I can't even believe it.
Transport Minister Clément Bien said the country could no longer tolerate the super rich using private planes while the public are making cutbacks to deal with the energy crisis and climate change. Bullshit agenda. It doesn't say it on there. I just added that. Anyway,
Mr. Clement, I guarantee he's gonna fly on a jet. Like,
well, of course he is, and he probably flies with what's his name, Donkey Face from the U.S.
John Kerry.
Yes, John Kerry. Thank you very much.
Yep.
So the law mostly rules out trips between Paris-Orly Airport and regional hubs such as Nantes, Lyon, and Bordeaux. Critics have noted that the cutoff point is shy of the roughly 3 hours it takes to travel from Paris to the Mediterranean port city of Marseille by high-speed rail. As rail services improve, more routes could be added, such as those between Paris, Charles de Gaulle, and Lyon and Rennes, I guess, Rennes, as well as journeys between blah, blah. Anyway, it's just part of this bullshit climate change agenda and wokeness. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is this week's edition of This Is Bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit. I just want to finish off and giving my extra opinion and just say, like, I've done a lot of reading and it's hard, like, to find, because usually when you read an article and it says according to sources and they don't name their source, you don't know. I've gone over this before. What the hell's true? What the hell's not? But there has been no confirmation that humans are like causing climate change. Like nothing concrete that makes me believe it. So like when these people are in these positions and they're making decisions for all the peasants, it just pisses me off. It's like,
yeah, me too.
People need to have the freedom to do what they want. If you're loading, you work hard and you can afford it, you should be able to fly. You shouldn't to make it fairer. Fairer was what pissed me off. I know there's a lot of climate freaks out there and whatever, like they can do them and I can choose to listen to them and believe and do my own research. But like the comment where it's like to make it fairer, it's like, oh my God, like, come on. So yes, Tony, I am also going to say yes. Okay. So I agree. That's a 2 bullshit. 2 out of 2.
And there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. We know it. We try not to get political on here, but when the dumb acidness of the world, God, there's a fly in here, affects aviation, that's when we're going to call it out here on the RampCheck podcast.
And Wadman's absolutely right. Sounds like someone bought stock. Dude, that's how they roll. Right? That's how they roll. Someone wasn't making money in the aviation, so let's force everyone to use the railway. It's called a FF, Foxtrot. False
wonder if
flag
Pelosi's
operation.
got in on that deal.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, hey, don't forget you can catch the RampCheck podcast every Tuesday night. We're live, and then of course, if you don't catch us live, it's available to view on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter after the fact as well. And we always appreciate when you guys check in and when you watch the podcast. Please subscribe and share where you can. Let more people know that we are out there and we're doing a video version, as if the audio version wasn't bad enough. But anyway, we're here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Right here on the RampCheck podcast. Did we get confirmation from Aaron that the Ramp Swag store is back up?
That's actually what I'm checking out right now, brother.
Oh, you're checking right now? Okay.
Oh, there we go. It is not. So, so for everyone that is listening, if you go to the Ramp Swag store, Aaron is currently in the process of revamping the website. I know it's going to look totally badass and, he's going to have some new product. If you go to our site right now, this is what you're going to see. Let me share it really fast. This is what you'll see. It's down for revamp. We'll be back soon with updated designs, quality, and pricing. So knowing Aaron, even though he's up there with his wife and kids, he probably has his iPad, and I guarantee he is designing shit while he's laying there and hanging out and doing whatever. So, you know, Aaron and I were a lot closer in age growing up, and something that he always did when we shared a room is he always was up late working on something, whether he's building a model, whatever. So I guarantee after everyone's gone to bed, he's going to sit his little Indian style like he does, and he's just going to get his paintbrush out, and he's going to make some art.
Exactly. So Wadman says some designs look amazing. You are absolutely right. So we'll let you know as soon as the Ramp Swag store is back and when we're ready to go. And there will be new designs, the website itself. Anyway, so
cool.
Yeah. So before we go, should we close out with our Instagram stories we follow?
Yeah, that's like my favorite part now. So yes, let's do it.
Okay. So I'm not the expert that Aaron is. So
you got to get the music, brother.
Oh, that's right.
Can't do it without the whatever it's called.
Let's see.
Chill.
Should we do chill hop this time?
Let's chill hop.
See how this chill hop sounds. What do you think?
Sure.
Oh,
why
yeah.
not? Oh.
Like that? Or you want something a little bit more upbeat?
I don't know.
Let's see what else is playing. Let's see.
I think it's fine.
There we go.
Okay.
Little future pop. All right. Okay, so dear Lord, don't let me fuck this up. Sammy Tierney, remembering Officer Gordon Beasley. Oh, well, geez, our thoughts and prayers. We're so sorry to his family. Let's see, what else do we have here? You always feel a little...
Hit the little arrow that goes to the next story, brother, and then...
Okay.
See what, okay.
Yep. Denton Enterprise Airport, U.S. Aviation, nice. Let's see. Carlos, when your ego is bigger than your brain, so you dump a boatload of money just to get killed in a homemade sub.
Oh, yeah. It must be talking about that missing sub, huh?
Yep. That's definitely the Titanic picture. Well, I hope they found the heart of the ocean. But in all seriousness, hopefully something happens. Nice picture.
Santos.
F-18, hell yes. From CDJ Morgan, I signed up for the Run Strong program. Okay, sounds great. International Day of Yoga. Okay.
Oh, it is. Dang.
We all love yoga. Congratulations. I'm sorry we missed that, everybody. I thought we...
Dude, that is hilarious.
That's some funny shit right there.
I thought we were all participating. Oh, that's a good one.
That's hilarious. Nice picture.
That's a cool shot.
Aviation.
That P40? Or no, is that a Mustang? What is that?
What is that?
P40, yeah, I was right.
Yep.
See? Don't doubt it.
Yeah, wow, pretty awesome. All right, Pogsty Planes, the baby, the snacks. Oh,
I'm actually really hungry, and that looks pretty good.
That looks
the
awesome.
baby, yeah, that's his camera equipment. Yep.
Yep, definitely. Kitchen wall is gone. Okay, Pilot Lauren, and
nice, having some fun.
All right, and the kitchen wall is going back up. Let's see, there's always something to be thankful for. This is Check 6 Photography. And we got some sound on this one. Hold on. F-35 demo team. Nice. All right. Jacob Remmel Photos. Okay.
Hey.
Nice. Hey, Jacob. Good to hear from you or see ya. Boulder, Colorado. That looks like a soccer field. Sunrise Refresher. Okay. Jen Yee 1821. I'm just going to eat it right here. She's got to do that.
Disappeared into the wave.
Dad Bone. Okay.
All right. Hello.
Pictures from last night. 135 pilot.
Damn.
Very cool. Oh man.
Yeah.
Speaking of bone.
Look, it's the Utah Air National Guard wing. Yep.
Yep. He must be part of the 151st, maybe the 191st Refueling Squadron. Man, I remember when I went up, we got to refuel a B-52, some A-7s, A-10s. Just
that B-1 match is a sexy airplane, man.
That is just gorgeous.
Very cool.
Sweet shots 135_pilot. Damn is absolutely right.
Yeah, it's just sharing the photos people have shared. So
yeah, very cool. Warthog images. This is from Air Combat Command. Burt. Exactly.
Nice. That ain't a Warthog.
Yeah, there's Pegasus.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Okay, Liam JG, thank you. Pretty picture of the clouds. There we go.
Nice.
Air Combat Command. Nice.
Cool shot, too.
Oh, hell yeah. Harry Styles, if he actually was good. Okay, we probably skip the audio on that one. What the hell? Some random stuff on here.
Yep. Preppy, is that? I think that was Little Hess's Instagram there.
Oh, that was Little Hess, wasn't it? Yep, yeah. Preppy 235.
Is that NASCAR? I know that.
I don't know.
I know that those guys like NASCAR, so that's cool.
So this is. Can I go back to that one? Yes. This is probably what you don't want to see when you're planning your flight.
Yeah. Well, look. You see down there in Florida, I just saw yesterday that there was a tornado in Sandestin, Florida, on Miramar Beach, which is right where I was like not very long ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I saw some videos and everything, and I'm like, well, I'm glad that I missed that one.
Yeah, at least you weren't there. If you're on my flight today from Minneapolis to Washington Dulles, then I'd like to apologize for that landing. Worst one I've had for sure. Landing gear is still in one piece, so that's good at least. All right.
Blackbeard the pilot. Arr.
Blackbeard the pilot. So this will be the last one. We'll wrap it up. So ATC kept vectoring us all over and having us speed up and slow down to create spacing, but I think they were just messing with us.
Nice.
That's hilarious. So, well, cool.
Well,
that's good. That wraps up another edition of Instagram's stories we follow. Or Instagram stories from accounts we follow. Or so we need a stinger for that.
Yeah, I think we'll just put one. I thought we had one, but maybe not.
Yeah, we'll
oh yeah, well, we had this, which we probably should have put up there.
Oh, Instagrams we follow. Lower
but let's go into this since we're finishing up. How about that?
There you go. Please like, subscribe, and share the RampCheck podcast. Once again, we are live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Aaron will be with us next week, and I think we have a special guest.
Is that next week? Okay, awesome.
As well. I think so. We'll get confirmation, but keep an eye on the Ramp Swag store as well once it's back up. And of course, keep an eye on our Instagram because we will let you know when the Ramp Swag store is back up as soon as that happens. Like we said, please like, subscribe, share, tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, right here, whether it's on the YouTubes, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, one more thing. Speaking of Instagram, I know that you and Aaron ran a test, and we should next week as well be streaming live on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, it's Aaron gets credit for that. Aaron figured it out, so
it's ready to go.
I was just with him when he was testing it.
Right. He's not here, and I don't know shit about Instagram, so that's why it'll be next week when Aaron's on there. So
nice.
Thanks again for watching the RampCheck podcast. My name's Tony.
Good job, brother Tony. And I'm Ryan.
Hey.
Aaron will be back next week. Missed your brother. Good day.
Ah, shit. I wasn't ready. See, I'm not polished. Okay. Say it one more time.
Just end it. Good day.
All right. Thanks.